All right, everybody, Steve Austin here. Thank you for hitting that download button every single Thursday to get the everything but the kitchen sink Steve Austin Show unleashed, thrown at your ass. I'm fixing to open up a serious can of audio whoop-ass, but before we let the shit fly, I want to tell you about a special deal that my good personal friend, Diamond Dallas Page, put together for your ass. This is going to get your ass in gear and let you accomplish your fitness goals for 2014. You know I'm talking about DDP Yoga. Have mercy. DDP Yoga is a proven workout program that has changed the lives of thousands around the world with a proven workout plan dedicated to building strength and developing a healthy lifestyle. And now all you listeners of the Steve Austin Show can get it at a discounted rate. That's what friends are for, right? To hook you up with a great fucking deal. So check this out. You get a grid chart to plan your workouts, a nutrition guide, and a reference poster with the 12 core positions that make up the DDP Yoga workout. The Max Pack includes 15 workouts that anyone at any level can perform and see results with. And you can even download your workout gimmicks so you can exercise on the go. But you got to go to ddpyoga.com/Austin to get this special deal. That's ddpyoga.com/Austin. ddpyoga.com/Austin to take advantage of this special offer. Don't wait, because it's only going to be available for a limited time, so get your ass in gear.
The following program is a PodcastOne.com production.
He started in a small town in Texas. Worked his ass off to become one of the most famous wrestlers of all time.
We're going to take care of business tonight, and that's the bottom line.
And now he's dominating the world of on-demand audio. And he's doing it for the working man.
This is a damn good outlet for me to spew the bullshit off my brain.
Yeah! This is the Steve Austin Show. Unleashed.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Steve Austin Show. I'm coming to you from my house here at 316 Gimmick Street in Los Angeles, California, where we will open up a big-ass can of audio whoop-ass for you today. I tell you what, I got lucky today. I had a damn good friend of mine call and say, hey, man, I'm in Los Angeles. You want to do a show? I said, well, hell yeah, motherfucker, bring your ass over here and we'll talk a little bit, hit the damn record button, and let the people dig it. And it turned out to be a damn good show. Swig of water for the working man. Swig of water for the working woman out there. My old buddy Diamond Dallas Page called me a day or two ago, said he's going to come into town. And I was already getting ready to talk to Jim Johnston from WWE, the guy who creates all the music for the WWE Superstars. All the music for the WWE Superstars. All the music for the WWE programming. The guy's an absolute genius. So anyway, I was booked up talking to Jim, and I said, hey, man, I ain't got no studio time, but if you want to come by my crib, which he always comes by anyway because we're buddies, we can lay down something there. So anyway, DDP comes over, man, we ain't trying to sell nothing. We're just talking a little bit about life, a little bit about some wrestling matches that he had. I knew he was coming by, so I wanted to watch a couple of his matches to get some material to talk about. And I watched a match that he had with Bill Goldberg, and we ended up talking about that. And Bill is obviously a good friend of both myself and DDP. It was a hell of a damn match. And so anyway, we talk about that in the podcast, and we talk about some of the bullshit that we went through back in the day and what he's doing now with DDP Yoga. It was two buddies shooting a breeze. I hit the record button, so I hope you guys dig today's show. But before we get to today's show, we got the word of the day. You guys been sending me some suggestions of word of the day to my email, questions@steveaustinshow.com, and I didn't get any good ones to air for today. So I got on my computer and started looking. I said, we've already covered all the basic bullshit words that I use all the time, and I've introduced y'all to a few of them, cattywampus and all that hogwash, hullabaloo. But I needed to go into the computer to get a little scientific on you guys and made sure that if we're going to do a word of the day, we got to keep this motherfucker right. We got to do a good job. We got to represent the Steve Austin Show Unleashed, the goddamn most foul-mouthed show out there, I guess. That's the way of my life when it comes to this show. I'm just delivering some audio whoop-ass to the working man and the working woman. Ain't nothing designed to make you think too hard. If I can drop you some 411 and give you some information about, hey, everybody should carry a pocket knife. Always have a 4-in-1 screwdriver in your glove compartment. Get you a set of battery cables, blah, blah, blah. All that bullshit, that's great. But Einstein said E equals MC squared a long time ago, and I believe him because I've done the math, and it does equal MC squared. So there's no reason for me to try to dispute that on the airwaves. We ain't trying to solve all that horse shit. Y'all got enough problems. I got enough problems. This show was for entertainment purposes. A little bit of knowledge here and there, but it's for entertainment purposes. With that being said, let's go to the word of the day. Word of the day is Lalochizia. Lalochizia. Lalochezia. Lalochizia is emotional relief gained by using indecent or vulgar language. Emotional relief gained by using indecent or vulgar language. Shit, I got Lalochizia like a motherfucker. I probably had it since I was about 3 years old. God damn, this show is a goddamn cure for my Lalochizia. Motherfucker, I can stop going to see the goddamn doctor now that I know what's wrong with my dumb ass. Lalochizia is your word of the day, and it seems that yours truly has got it, and it's incurable. Damn near like cat scratch fever that Ted Nugent sung about way back in the day. Hey, dig this, people. I was riding around today in my black Suburban, 1996, supercharged 350, black, cream leather interior and that motherfucker. I got in there with a big-ass bottle of Pellegrino sparkling water, Hershey the Wonder Dog, Moolah the Silver Lab, and took a ride down to the marina, chilling, looking at the water, digging the boats, just kind of relaxing after a strenuous bust-ass day. Good day in the gym, I'll tell you about that in a minute. And I was chilling, listening to my iPhone, and I had it on. I don't know what the fuck I had it on. But this song came on, and I'll share it with you today because it was a damn good song, which brought back a couple of memories. Dig this. Some of you cats ain't never heard this before. If you haven't, you're hearing it now on the Steve Austin Show.
All my friends know the low rider. The low rider is a little higher.
Yeah, I gotta fade that shit out right about that right there. The FCC or the BMI or the ASCAP, somebody gonna come after me for using this song without paying no royalty fees. So I gotta shut that shit down. I know what you guys are thinking. You're thinking, shit, that motherfucking Steve wouldn't got a badass studio. I ain't getting no goddamn studio. I got my iPhone and I'm playing it on a little wireless boombox here. I ain't got no technology like a motherfucker. Shit, I'm just, I got this little bullshit system going on, playing a little bit of jam for you guys. I know a lot of you guys know that was Lowrider by a group called War. To you young cats that dig this show, I guarantee you, some of you people ain't never heard of that. You got to go back and listen to some of that old school stuff from back in the day. That's when they had some good music way back in the day. Low riding. You know, it makes me want to, I got a black Suburban, cream leather interior. It makes me want to just paint that motherfucker purple. Give me some crushed velour green interior. Lower that motherfucker. Put some 24s on it. Curb feelers. Shit. Be just like back in the day when I was down there in South Texas pimping that pussy. Shit, I'm up here in Los Angeles making money, riding around the marina. You always see them commercials on TV. Make money from your own home. I don't want to make no money from my own home. That's why I got this podcast. I want to make money on the goddamn streets. I ain't selling no drugs. I'm out there pimping pussy and fighting crime, keeping the streets of Los Angeles safe. Shit. I guarantee you I can make a movie about this. I'm going to rustle up some money and make this motherfucker a movie. You understand what I'm saying? All right, I ain't going to do that. Just bullshit. It was a story. Hey, you know what? I feel like man of the year right now. My wife went to Zumba class a while ago, and before she left, she said, can you change the damn toilet lid out on our commode? We've got a busted lid on our toilet seat, and the sumbitch only had one bolt on it. and the sumbitch would flap around there when you sat on it to take care of your business. And she asked, would I change it? She'd been asking me for about 3 months, but I was too lazy to take my dumb ass down in my Suburban to Home Depot and buy a goddamn lid for our commode. So she bought one. And she bought the right one. And I guess evidently the commode we got is a Kohler, the bold-looking Kohler. And this box says bold durability. Well, I tell you what, if my ass is going to be sitting on this motherfucker, it damn sure better be bold, and it damn sure better be durable. The other motherfucker done broke. But, you know, to its credit, when we bought this house, those commode seats were still here. You know, there's some people that when they buy a house, they will change out the toilet seats. It seems like it's going to the extremes, doesn't it? But, I mean, all you got to do is open up a can of Lysol on that motherfucker and get all the germs off of it. You ain't got to buy another lid until one of the hinges busts, like ours did. So, anyway, this thing, it says, prevents loosening, is fast and foolproof. You know what? They didn't lie, because it was fast and foolproof. With a regular screwdriver, I changed this motherfucker off in about 5 minutes. The color matches. It says it's easy to clean. Now, what does that mean? When it says easy to clean, now, you know, guys, you're going to piss on the rim. You know, you got to pick that damn lid up, but then you piss on the porcelain part. So that's not what they're talking about is easy to clean. They're talking about the rim. So, I mean, I guess you'd have to have a cripple goose factor of 10 and just shit like a cripple goose all over that sumbitch with a hellacious case of diarrhea to make his motherfucker easy to clean. But that's what it says so here on the directions. Perfect fit. It fit just perfect because you can turn the hinges around and adjust it for an elongated toilet. And we didn't have to do that. And it's American made. Assembled with pride in the USA. Every time I take a shit, I'm shitting with pride right here in the good old United States of America, the greatest country in the world today. Anyway, before I move on along, I told you guys I was going to be weighing in and talk to you about my fitness campaign as I head into getting ready to go to camera for the Broken Skull Challenge coming up here in March. I forgot to get my dumb ass on the scale this morning, so I can't even guess to tell what I weighed. But on the next show, I'm going to get my ass on the scale. I'll just start writing stuff. You know what? I'm going to tweet this shit out, I guess. What the fuck? I'm so damn stupid. Sometimes I don't remember to do some of the things that I'm supposed to do. Anyway, with that being said, oh, you know what? I was doing some research on most popular swear words on Facebook. This is when I was looking up Lalakeezy, the word of the day. And on Facebook, the popularity of select profanities by country. In the United States, shit is the number one word. In Britain, Canada, and Australia, fuck is the number one word used on Facebook. And if I scroll up, the popularity of select profanities by region here in the United States, in the Midwest, shit is the number one cuss word. In the West, it's fuck. In the South and the Northeast, the number one cuss word is shit on Facebook. Now, how many of you people knew that? That's the kind of research this motherfucker right here is doing to bring you guys a can of audio whoop-ass. Can you dig that? So anyway, that's a bunch of damn research right there. Told you about the fitness program. I'm lifting weights like a motherfucker. What I do today? Today I did biceps and legs. I started off with some straight bar curls, and I did probably about 5 sets. And I started off doing sets of 20 to get me a warm-up, and then got down into some sets of 10, and then with some cheat, a little bit of cheat in there towards the end, eked out a couple of forced reps. I got so out of shape when I was down there at the ranch. If y'all ever been in shape, you guys that have been in shape and know what I'm talking about. You get in shape and you get your pump, and then you kind of start slacking off like I did for 2 months and drank too much beer. You kind of lose your pump. I'm trying to get that pump back. So anyway, I'm just trying to do more volume workouts than anything real heavy right now, just to get back in the groove. So I'm starting to establish that. My buddy I was talking to, Stan Efferding, the other day, y'all heard his talk on nutrition, smart cat, Smelly Bell down there, Super Training Gym down there in Sacramento, strongest gym in the West. And both of them said the damn same thing. They've been around the game of iron for a long time. And they said, don't worry about it, man. That muscle memory is there. And, you'll get your muscles back pretty quick, muscle memory. Well, shit, my motherfucking muscles must got amnesia because I ain't got a goddamn thing yet. I'm starting to get a little bit back in the groove, but I ain't always back in the groove. My fucking muscles must be dumber than shit because I don't think they remember yesterday. So, goddamn, Smelly and Stan, motherfuckers got some smarter muscles. Now, I must got the dumbest motherfucking muscles on planet Earth. I'm sitting there poking my bicep right now. Wake up, goddammit, you're supposed to start growing, bitch. Anyway, back in the gym, and then I went to wheels, and I started off with some damn light-ass squats, sets of 20, and then got down to a working weight, and then just did I did a lot of volume, I did about 6 sets of 10, and then jumped on a leg press, and did sets of 10 and 15, started going a little bit heavy on the leg press, full range of motion on every exercise I did, and I could have went in and done some leg extensions, some leg curls. I was running out of time. So basically I just worked the front of my quads. And then I also got my calf work in because every time I get a set of leg presses in, I just rack the weight and then reposition my feet and eke out some calf raises while I'm on that seated leg press. So anyway, that was my workout of the day. It's coming back around. I'll hit you up next time I get back on the air and tell you body weight. We're going to follow this thing down. I'll be down to 245 by the time the Broken Skull Challenge starts. That's going to be a bust-ass competition show coming to you on Country Music Television. And, hey, enough of me flapping my gums here. You know what I'm saying? I got Diamond Dallas Page coming with some stories he ain't never told probably anywhere else before but here. Some stories about me and him when we was living together. Just some good shit. You're gonna dig it, I promise you. But before we get going with Dallas, I found something to hold me over till next year's hunting season. It's a video game called Deer Hunter 2014. It's big guns, hundreds of animals to shoot, and tons of missions. And you can get it free on the App Store and Google Play. Millions of people have been playing Deer Hunter 2014, and I've heard people talking about it, so I decided to check it out for myself, and now I can't stop playing. You got badass animals attacking you, bullets flying. You can play all over the world. And Deer Hunter 2014 is free on the App Store and Google Play. So you can hunt exotic animals all over the world. You can shoot animals while they attack you. And you can change guns and locations. And you can do it all for free at the App Store and Google Play. I've never really been into video games until now. So you got to check out Deer Hunter 2014. You play for free on the App Store and Google Play. With that being said, it's time for a little DDP. My good buddy, Diamond Dallas Page. All right, sitting here at the studio at 316 Gimmick Street with my buddy DDP, Diamond Dallas Page, the inventor of DDP Yoga. What in the hell are you doing in town?
I actually just got done filming a movie with Jake. Well, I'm not done. I still got 2 more days, but he had 3 straight. And it's called Baker's Dozen. And it's... it's a little independent movie that, they're friends with the guys from the Warped Tour, and that's like a big, those guys, they have their all locked into all their YouTubes and all that stuff. I don't know how it'll ever get seen, but I pay the father of this guy who invented, I wouldn't say the perfect condom, but it's something like that. So you can see where I'm going already, right? Yeah. And Jake and I have very little altercation at the end. Jake plays the guy in the suit. Who runs the
Jake in a suit.
Yes.
Interesting.
Well, Piper had the role first.
Right. What happened to Piper?
He had to do something with WWE, the WWE house, what's it called?
Oh, yeah, Legends House.
Legends House.
Yeah, I think they're just going to start promoting that because they're going to unveil or they're going to debut the WWE Network, I think, on February 24th. So I would imagine they're making the publicity rounds to get the word on the street up on that so people can watch it. It looks like it's going to be fun.
Roddy said it was one of the best times he had. He said he had a really good time on the show.
Well, the guy that helped us film Tough Enough, Eric Wagonin, was also the guy who ran Legends House. And
he's
a
the
mastermind, so it's going to be good. And plus, dude, when you put a bunch of cats like that underneath one roof, because, man, first of all, the boys are nuts anyway. I mean, to a degree, and I mean that in a good positive way. But, guys in our business can be a little off the wall, through my career, and I'm sure yours, you've met some of the most off-the-wall, crazy motherfuckers in the world, and some of the biggest sweethearts in the world. Some rocket scientists and some dumb motherfuckers.
And
but
guys
that's the
who
boys.
you wouldn't think we're rocket scientists,
Yeah.
but are. Like, what the fuck? Like, I think when I think of that, I think of fucking strongest man in the world, man. That big brother, he's like crazy fucking smart. He's crazy smart.
You know, it's interesting. I always tell people, you know, like, what kind of qualifications do you need to get into pro wrestling? None. I mean, you need a modicum of athletic ability. I mean, to succeed, you need a lot of things. But, I mean, as far as getting into business, I mean, you know, you can come straight out of prison. You can come off the football field. You can come off a freight dock.
Out of the nightclub?
All out of a nightclub, as you did. Going back to Legends House, it's going to be interesting, and I'm looking forward to seeing the calamity and the hijinks that goes on, because a lot of ribbers under that house.
Oh, wow.
Pat Patterson, one of the greatest storytellers and one of the greatest finish guys in the history of the business in there. Mean and, of course, Roddy. Hacksaw's in there. Yeah. Roddy told me a little bit about having a room with Hacksaw. Roddy was a guy. I just talked to Roddy for almost 2 hours. He came on the show a couple of weeks ago, and he was able to come down in the studio and talk in person. And, man, I tell you what, I'd always heard that Roddy paid a lot of dues, and he got into business at a very young age.
Yeah, 15.
And basically, you know, I guess kind of got kicked out of his house and went out on his own. And, man, he supported himself, and he was staying at an Indian reservation, and he was staying at this place that would charge him $25 a night. And you can stay there every single night. You have to stay every other night, so, you know, you wouldn't just start sleeping over.
Right.
And then his first match at 15 years of age was with Larry the Axe Hennig.
Seriously?
And yeah. And so, you know, Larry probably was about 300 pounds at the time.
And he couldn't have been more than $150.
Exactly. He was about $170.
Yeah.
And so we talked about, you know, as he got older and started maturing, and he finally started gaining weight. But can you imagine breaking into the business at 15 years of age? And you're looking across the ring at Larry the Axe Hennig. And Larry was a badass cat and a family guy. But you talk about roughhouse.
Oh, dude, he was 300 pounds, too. And he was a man's man.
Yeah. So anyway, basically he gets into business and starts making the rounds. And, you know, basically, you know, for, I don't know, years getting throttled, trying to learn the business, hooked up with some cats, started going down the road like we all do.
Right.
And your brain turns into a sponge as you listen to the veterans talk and learning about the business. That's funny because you got a late start in the business.
Yeah,
and
you were there.
Started off as a manager down here in Florida. But when you got in the ring, I mean, when you finally got in the ring, and that was in WCW at what year? We've talked about this before.
1991.
So then you're the young old guy. You're probably the senior guy as far as, you know, almost always chronologically as far as age.
Yep.
And a lot of street smarts. You were a hustler.
I was running nightclubs. So,
yeah, you're a hustler.
I wasn't bouncing. I was running the club.
Yeah, but also, and you got some savvy, you know, running up and down the road as a manager. How often were you on the road? How many years did you travel on the road just managing?
Well, the only road trip, I would go out in and out. Like I would go, when I first got picked up for AWA, I would come in on a Friday night, and then we film on Saturday. So I just make it a 3-day thing. I'd bring a different broad every time, hence the Diamond Dolls.
Yeah.
You know, and I just have fun. But it was just, I knew we were doing 4 shows. Right. So I'd come up with sort of like 4 different interviews I might do, and then I'd piece them into whatever I did. And then we did that, what was it called? Wasn't Clash of Champions. That was WCW.
Clash of Titans.
Clash of Titans.
Yeah.
And that's where they put WCCW, Memphis, and
AWA
all together, right? So that's the only weekend road trip I had ever been on before going to WCW. And this is what I happened to end up with. On the road trip, and not knowing anybody, but Michael at PS Hayes, we favor each other, and I know you love him too.
Yeah, I love him. I'm trying to get him on the show.
Yeah, he's unbelievable. Got his stories. That son of a bitch tell.
Well, you know, the thing about it is, not to cut into your story, but the clarity and the recall that that guy has. He remembers everything. And I forgot half the shit I did, but he remembers everything.
And he was fucked up every night.
Not Michael.
Every night. But he loves his herb and he loves his booze.
Yeah.
He wasn't anything else besides that, but he loved his herbs and booze. And I'm in a car with him.
Yeah.
And Eddie Marlin is in the shotgun, and Jerry Jarrett is driving.
Yeah.
And Hayes is in the back, and he's
Now,
smoking.
Jerry Jarrett, at the time, for my listeners, Jerry Jarrett is the owner-promoter of USWA.
Right.
Eddie Marlin is his right-hand guy.
His booker, right?
Okay, go ahead.
So, but they were fucking top guys right there.
Yeah,
They,
sure.
had their own territory, and and that was always Memphis was always successful. The guys drew money. Those guys made money anyway.
Yeah.
Those guys.
I've been on the receiving end of some of those gimmicks they call paychecks. They weren't so good, but go ahead.
Yeah. So Michael, he's smoking cigarettes, right? And he's drinking his, he's giving me some of the beers. He's got a case of beer. So he's sitting in front, and he going, Jerry, he hates cigarettes. He goes, last time I was here, he so fucked me around on my payoff. And he blew the smoke up there. And he blew the smoke. And we talk wrestling. And, at one point, Stevie, he says to me, I can tell you're not in this to be a TV star. You love this shit.
Hayes told you this?
Yeah, he told me that. And that was a magic moment with me and him. And he gave me his phone number. Now, I'm nobody. I'm nothing. I've been in the
Don't be
business
so hard
9
on
months.
yourself, kid.
At the time, I'm nobody.
Yeah, I got you.
And he gives me his number, and he would call me back from time to time.
Really?
He
That's
would
cool.
call me back from time to time. And when I go into WCW as the manager, him and Jimmy Jam are a tag team that I'm managing.
Jimmy Garvin?
Yes.
Yeah.
Two of the best talkers
Yeah.
of the 80s.
Yeah.
And PS says, because he likes me, right?
Yeah.
He says to Jimmy, this guy's got chops. We start with our back to the cameras. He's going to talk for us. And I got my first promo with them. Oh, my God. It was a lot of fun on the road.
I'll never forget, I was down in WCW, and they were just starting to give me a little bit of a push.
Right.
A little bit of a push. And I guess I had the World Television title, which had won from the one and only Bobby Eaton, one of my favorites of all time.
Amazing.
So anyway, I'm going to go out there, and I think we're down in Columbus, Georgia. It's one of those towns basically where we are Macon, wherever. It was down there in the South. We was always doing those TV tapings there. And I was going to wrestle Michael P.S. Hayes first, and then later on, because we filmed about 3 or 4 shows back then.
Yep.
And then later on, Jimmy Garvin. And I was beating both of them. And it was like, those are two wily veterans.
Yes.
And here I was. I've probably been in the business 3 years, a little bit of momentum,
Right.
Pretty aggressive in the ring. I almost felt bad, going over on those guys because I had so much respect for them.
Right.
And, of course, Michael always had that quick left hand.
Yeah.
And he loved to throw that jab. And he happened to catch me right underneath the eye. Put a little goose egg underneath my eye. And I never knew if that was because, I was doing the favor or maybe, it was just an accident. He let one go and I was too close.
Right.
But anyway, just going over on those guys was big time for me. But again, I almost felt guilty going over
I
them
get
because
it.
I had
Yeah.
so much respect for them. Wonder, we've got WrestleMania 30 coming up. Are you going to be down there in that neck of the woods?
Hell yeah, man.
What are you going to be doing there? Because the point I was going to make, they always have the Hall of Fame induction on Saturday night before the Sunday, the big show, the big shoe. So, Freebirds, they should be in the Hall of Fame.
God, they should have been in a long time ago. But, I know it's going to happen. I would love to see it this year, especially there.
Right.
In New Orleans, or really Dallas, if we ended up doing something in Dallas. But I would love to see it. But, my hope, and is that maybe WWE sees the way to maybe induct Mr. Roberts, Jake the Snake, in the Hall of Fame. So I'm hoping that happens, but I'm going no matter what because I'm doing a DDP yoga workshop probably on a Friday night before, night before, and the Saturday, like mid-morning. So I'm going to be doing that so people can listen up for that. I mean, I'll let you know what those dates are when we get locked down.
How many people do you think you're going to draw on for that?
I just did one I'm doing one in Detroit this week. I got 74 people going to be there. That's paid right now. But $75, bro.
Yeah.
It's not cheap because it's a 3-hour deal and it's in depth. I get into, all out how to breathe and working out, how to do the dynamic resistance, how to do the diamond dozen. I break it down. And then we do a workout, and I make it so anyone can do it, modifying the moves. As long as you can walk, you can do the workout.
Right.
And if you can, and you can actually go through that, at the end, then I do pictures. I do all the shit. So it's like
basically like a personal appearance, but you get all the 411
Exactly.
about how to get your ass in shape.
Exactly.
Hey, let's talk about DDP Yoga just for a second because this is not a DDP podcast. You started coming on board. I did some reads for you just the other day. With my second part of my conversation with Roddy Piper. You're one of my sponsors. I want to say thank you for coming on board, man. It means a lot to me because we go so far back and traveling up and down the road together. So many damn stories and ribs and bullshit and me doing the commentary, while we were filming all your matches, and we threw all that
Every
shit
match.
away.
Tell them. Yeah,
Well,
I
so we
filmed
go
every
back. So
match.
who would have figured if you'd have told me back then, when you and me and Mick Foley and whoever the fuck else were
Kevin
crammed in a
Nash.
hotel room, that one of these days you're going to be sitting here talking about a podcast. And, oh, by the way, well, first of all, the fact that I would have a podcast, and, DDP will be running a commercial on your show because he has created this fitness lifestyle called DDP Yoga. I said, you're full of shit, you pile of shit. Get the fuck out of here. Nonetheless, here we are, 316 Gimmick Street, Los Angeles, California.
Oh,
Hey,
my God.
let's go back to some of the people you used to work with. You were coming in town, and, first you were coming in town, you weren't coming to town, all of a sudden you give me a call, hey, man, I'm in town, let's do something. So, shit, we'll just come by the house. So last night I got on YouTube and was watching a couple of matches that you had just to shoot the shit and open up a can of audio whoop-ass, which we already have done, and just shoot the shit about the business because so many people love to hear stories about life on the road or in the ring. I got a chance to watch right in the middle of the part of a match where you were working with Bill Goldberg. Goldberg, and I think you probably worked with him a bunch of times. Which match were we watching a while ago?
That was number one. That was
the first one.
That was Halloween Havoc. It was for the world title. I was hot as hell. He was hot as hell.
Yeah.
Two baby faces.
Man, that was a good match. I'm halfway through it, but the good psychology. I mean, the thing that I always liked about Bill, here's the thing. Back when I started getting real hot, right on my heels, Goldberg starts getting hot. Of course, you were getting hot too.
Yeah,
you were right in that same
he was
kind
on
of
a
parallel
rocket
path.
too, though. Yeah,
no, but to my point, there's Goldberg, and then, of course, you had your diehard WCW fans, your diehard WWF fans. So, I'd be going down an airport, and someone would say, Goldberg!
Oh!
I'm thinking, you motherfucker, I'm the original. And, of course, I talked to Bill. Bill's a good friend of mine, as he is yours.
Yes.
And, every now and then, he would get the Stone Cold. And it was like, he didn't want to be called Stone Cold, and I didn't want to be called Goldberg. But anyway, some great bumps in that match. And I never got a chance to work with Goldberg. That would have been a great match,
It would have.
obviously.
Yeah, you guys
for obvious reasons, the matchup, the look, the chemistry that I think we could have had. But Goldberg was an explosive, strong guy. And I think from a physicality standpoint, anybody can see that the dude's built like a brick shithouse.
Yeah.
But that dude was stronger than fuck.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, I brought my Doc, Doc West. I brought
Right.
him with me to that, laying out the match because this guy's only been working less than a year and a half.
Right.
You got to remember
Was he that
too.
green in the business?
That green in the business.
That was a hell of a match.
And for us to have that, you could feel the cutting of it was just so thick with the people jacked up, and they just watched Hogan and Warrior go like 40 minutes.
Right.
And now what's happened after I get to the ring, 2/3 of the country don't ever see this match. They got to see it on Monday Nitro the next night, which I love because we did like
No,
an
stop. What do you mean Hogan and Warrior just went 40 minutes? Because that
3 o'clock. 3 hours. They
3
hit the 3
hours.
hours.
So y'all went over.
We didn't. A third of the country saw us. 2/3. They had to repay these guys. This is a big
Right.
pay-per-view too. Warrior and Hogan.
Yeah.
So they had to pay these people, and it was the beauty of it for me. They had to play it on Nitro the next night.
Oh, that's
Dude, that was
prime time.
That
dude.
was like an 8.2 rating.
Exactly.
With all the momentum,
So
all the shit.
how was it working with Bill?
I loved it because we were buddies back. I met him in a strip joint 6 years before he ever got in the business.
Right.
And you know me, I was always like, dude, you should be doing this business.
Yeah.
He's got the look, the size.
The rap. His old man remembers story.
But he had a full head of hair. So when he shaved his head, I go,
Damn, what did Bill look like with a full head of hair?
different.
Yeah.
Not as intimidating.
Oh, yeah. He's got a
not
good
as
look.
intimidating. And his girl Lisa at the time, before he got married, and he was with Lisa a long time, she's the one who came up with that tribal thing. And nobody really had that tribal tattoo type thing back then. So it really did. You guys, I'll tell you what, and I got to put you both over because I think of this all the time. White man, bald head. It was Mr. Clean before that. It wasn't over.
Right.
You two guys, you made it fucking over for guys to shave their fucking heads. Because it looked good.
Well, people had been doing that shit way before I did it.
No,
but,
that dude got over with it.
Well,
Not
I
got
know.
over with it. Michael Jordan and Charles Barkley made it cool for brothers.
Yeah.
And then it slid over to this, and it was just, it was a good, because it's a good look. And his, it was intimidating.
Here, a quick story. I think I probably told this on the show before. when I was down in WCW, and Stunning Steve Austin had that long blonde hair. That was my natural hair color. I never bleached my hair in my life. I had the baddest, the coolest color in the world. It was all natural. I was going to get the lifetime guarantee on them follicles. Motherfuckers started receding back to the south. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, you know how it is when you break into the business. The guy who broke you in has all the answers to any question you may want to ask. Correct?
Right.
It's the way it is.
Right.
He's your mentor. So I'm kind of losing my hair. I figured, man, I better call Chris Adams, ask what I need to do about losing my hair. So, of course, that's the dumbest thing in the world, that you would expect another wrestler to know all of life's answers. So I call him up and say, Chris, Steve. Hey, Steve, how you doing? British accent.
Right.
I said, hey, man, I'm doing pretty good. I just want to ask you a question. I said, hey, man, I'm kind of starting to lose my hair in the front. What do you think? What should I do? And what do you think he said?
Shave your head?
No. He said, fuck, Steve, I don't know. So anyway, hung up the phone.
He had a full head of hair, didn't he?
Yeah, of course he did.
Fuck, you're fucked.
Because I'm living outside of Atlanta, and this time when a hair club for men was really popular back then. But it's only about 1994. So I book an appointment and go down to Hair Club for Men. There's Moolah the watchdog. So I go to the Hair Club for Men, and this good-looking blonde comes in. I'm sitting on a stool in the middle of a room. She comes in, puts on a pair of rubber gloves, breaks out these 2 wooden tongue depressors, and starts combing through my shit, right, my wig. And she goes, well, we can take this and move it over here and move this over here. Stumbling to hair plugs and tearing off my scalp and replacing it right here on these Widow's Peak gimmicks. Right. And all of a sudden I said, okay, yeah, sounds good. Okay, I said, I'll book another appointment, come back, and we'll do it. Well, shit, they didn't ever hear from my ass again. It was back in 94, man. I ain't going to get a bunch of shit, torched off my head and put back. Or, a couple times they were taking, I think back in the day, weren't they using pubic hair on people and shit like that?
They cut out the back, and then they
cut out the back, put it down in the
shit.
front.
So it is your hair, but it's just from the back to the front. And, some of the work I've seen is pretty fucking damn good. But for you, it was the best thing ever happened to you, dude. Because Stunning Steve wouldn't have made it. You had to go through all the shit to get to the spot to be in that place.
Oh yeah. Everything turned out like gangbusters. Yep. But anyway, so working with Goldberg, you guys have a badass match, and then
let me tell you behind the scene thing.
Okay. This is what my people want to hear behind the scenes.
Behind the scene, he don't want to miss the spear. Now, 3 weeks out, I'm already because Billy, we're off the road. We're on the road all the time. And we don't get to work on the road.
Hey, let's talk about that. How often were you guys? I mean, because man, we were swinging it down in WWF. It was, out of 30 days, probably on the road, 25, 26.
Absolutely. And if I wasn't doing that, I was doing the Tonight Show. I was doing Hollywood Squares. I was always doing something. Right. So I was home like maybe 2 or 3 days a week.
So you guys are busting ass.
Busting ass. But now I've cut that shit back because I know I can't go out there and steal the show as green as he is. I'll just have another match like he's had with everybody else. So I want him to come down to Power Plant where we started and start to just roll through some stuff just to show him some stuff. And the big thing was, Billy, you've never missed a spear. You got to miss the spear. He goes, I can't miss the spear. I go, you got to trust me on this. When you hit me with it, it's going to be fucking huge. He goes, how do I miss the spear? So I come up with a couple different ways. And then one time I'm explaining to him, I'm laying in the ropes the way I would do with my arms over the top rope.
Yeah, scarecrow.
Yeah, right. And I go, you come at me. And you come at me, I'll be gone. And if you watch that match, watch it back. He comes at me, I boot him, he sets it up, and he comes running. Man, he did not want me to miss the spear.
He did not want to
miss that spear. He came, I miss him by fucking
a cunt hair.
A cunt hair. Exactly. It might have been a half a cunt hair.
Yeah.
And he keeps going because he's Bill, and it's got to be real to Bill, and that's what got Bill over too. Right. But he hit his shoulder so hard on the post. Boom, he goes down, right? So I bring him in, and now you'll see I go to pick him up. He don't get up. So I grab a hold because I know he's blowing sky high right now. And
was he blowing sky high or hurt?
He's hurt,
okay,
and he's blowing
up. Yeah.
He's a little bit of both. He's a little bit of both. So now we get to the end, and now, he misses. He gets the spear. Now, pay attention here big time because when someone like a Bill Goldberg is coming with that spear, if you don't take your own bump, you're fucked. He cracked Big Show's sternum by hitting that big fucker because Big Show ain't taking that kind of bump for him at that time. Right. So he's going through everybody. And He was, 169 170 100. They kept getting bigger and bigger. I'm talking about 400, 450, 500-pound guys. None of those guys are flat backing. Yeah. So he's spearing them. He's shooting. When he gets to me, and he's going to get this spear, and he's so pissed he's missed the first, he's still in his head. He comes at me, bro. I am a napkin. You don't even feel me. By the time he goes through, and his head goes all the way through and almost pulled what you did with Owen. His head hits the mat first, then my body. So I don't know it, but he's out. So, I know he's going to pick me up so I can go to do the gimmick, and I'm going to drop behind him and diamond cut him. But he ain't really, you can tell he's a little Day Street, but I think he's just selling.
Right.
He pops up, he does that, and he picks me up, and he puts me down. I'm thinking, fuck, he's really selling, because I don't know he's on Queer Street.
Yeah.
Right?
And that simply means he's almost knocked out.
Right. He don't know where he's at. He's in a dream. But he's so in the game that he can move on autopilot.
Yeah.
I go up, drop behind him, hit him with diamond cutter, fucking place explodes. I'm waiting 10 seconds to get there because I know he's kicking out, right?
Yeah.
But he's going to kick out.
That's that creative liberty you take when you hit that big finish and you want to protect it, but you're walking a razor blade, because if you take too long, crowd ain't gonna buy into it. They know what you're doing. You're buying time.
Yep.
So it's really, you got to make the right judgment call on the timing.
Absolutely.
Protect the finish, but also keep the fans hanging.
And at the same time, you got to remember that I just took the spear.
Right.
So
you got something to sell.
I've got really something to sell. So finally I crawl over.
You really have something to sell.
I really have something to sell. But I don't, because he ain't hurt me. He's hurt himself.
Yeah.
And when I fucking lay my arm on him, I'm expecting the 1, 2, yeah. It goes 1, 2, and he kicks out. And I was like, motherfucker.
Yeah.
I was so pissed.
Because if you guys follow the story, man, a kick out on 2, something as spectacular as what has just happened is addressing dog shits. That's a 2 9/10.
Yes,
That's
absolutely.
the kick out.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's like
what you're looking for.
Where the ref might have fucked up, and it still didn't count. So we go into the. Then